In 1895 in Paris, France, the Lumiere brothers were the first to project motion pictures to a paying audience. And more than 100 years later, we're here celebrating filmmaking. Hello and welcome to the 2020 edition of the Accra Indie Film Festival. We call it the Virtual Access Edition because of the COVID-19 pandemic, which is hitting across countries all over the world. We're happy to have you join us from across the globe, from Africa, where I come from, Europe, America, Asia, and Australia. Let me tell you something brief about my country, Ghana, specifically because of the Accra Indie Festival. Now, several years ago, a country called Ghana was birthed. Now, the capital of this country, Ghana, is Accra, Ghana, which is where I come from. It is the capital city of a country, beautiful country, Ghana, I have to say, formerly called Gold Coast. I invite you all for a trip here in Ghana for your tourist needs, and also because of the glittering beaches we have in the country Ghana, some museums, libraries, artifacts, and a bustling nightlife right here in the city. So if you take a trip here to Accra, Ghana, do invite me. I'll take you gladly around the city. Hello again and welcome to Accra Indie Film Fest 2020.
On this happy trip back to the promised land.
Welcome again to the 2020 Virtual Access edition of the Accra Indie Film Festival. In 2019, we brought you the maiden edition, and I was happy to be part of that edition because it was a territory that many hadn't thought about, but through the instrumentality of our capable board of directors, the jury, and many other individuals who we cannot acknowledge here at this moment, we brought you the first edition of the festival. Now, this is the second edition, and for obvious reasons, we've had to come to your homes via the network or via the internet because of the coronavirus pandemic. Accra Indie Film Festival is going to be spanning 7 days. We're going to be screening some of the most thought-provoking and incredible short films that have been produced by filmmakers from across the world, and also bringing you some virtual conferences and boot camps. The festival will be climaxed with an awards ceremony where we will be giving out awards to the most deserving films, which our jury has selected for this year's edition. Let me now have you listen to one of the representatives of our board of directors of Accra Indie Film Festival, Ms. Odolina Roussinov.
I'd like to warmly welcome you to the second virtual access edition of the Accra Indie Film Festival. We're bringing you this festival at a very challenging time in the middle of the COVID pandemic. And whilst taking all the necessary precautions at a challenging time like this, we decided to still bring this festival to you in the spirit of the independent filmmaker who often has to defy the odds to get their project off the ground or to complete their films. So it's in that spirit that we decided to go ahead and bring this virtual access edition to you into your homes for free. The second reason that motivated us to bring this virtual access edition to you is our experience with our last year where we had the maiden edition. Now, it was a great success. And we were very, very happy about that. We got submissions from all over the world. We had screenings of selected films. We had very interesting discussions. We had even some filmmakers who actually came to Accra to participate in these discussions. The Accra Independent Film Festival has as its desire to promote the independent filmmaker and specifically the short film. Short form, we feel, is often highly unrepresented, especially in this this continent where we are. It's not often viewed very seriously. However, most independents, as well as young filmmakers, struggle to create feature films. They also use short film as a mode to hone their craft and produce films as they build up to something else. And we felt that given the independent filmmaker the sort of visibility, and to give them a platform where we can talk about short film and celebrate short film as well as the independent filmmaker is very important.
An average feature film production in Ghana costs about 100,000 Ghana cedis, right? This makes it more difficult for young filmmakers like myself to produce, and those who are able to raise the money to produce this kind of production end up somehow losing the investment, and this is as a result of several factors. I'll raise few, and raising this amount of money I mentioned earlier is a Herculean task in our industry here, and the volume of stress in handling cast and crew to be able to produce these films is quite difficult, and finding your own voice as a storyteller and also making your stories resonate with the audience is another journey that you cannot achieve in a day. And we believe that this and more are the reasons why there's always the need for the production of short films, and the short film production is like a reduced format of the feature films and the stress that comes with it. Unfortunately, the industry for a very long time have not been fair to the short films production, and they sometimes even turn it as a waste of time, because you need to go through somehow, some way, somehow closer to that stress. And they think at the end of the day, since there's not so much audience for the short films, it might end up wasting your time. And we believe that this and more is the reason why Accra Indie Filmfest has been established as a hub, or as a space to be able to retrieve the need for short film productions in Ghana and across Africa. It became necessary for us to open up the festival to the rest of the world, because we believe in the importance of exchange of knowledge and experience in the growth of independent and young filmmakers. So we had to open the festival to the rest of the world to also submit their films, so that we can borrow ideas when necessary for us to be able to build ourselves as creatives and as filmmakers.
Our slogan for AiF 2020 is Film as a Tool for Social Activism. This year, we had an enormous amount of submissions, over 4,000 from many countries all over the world. I'm going to list a few of them. We have from outside of Africa, we have the US, we have UK, Russia, Iran, Brazil, and even Afghanistan. Within Africa, I'll just mention a few. We have South Africa, Kenya, Nigeria, as well as Ghana. And this by no means is an exhaustive list. And one of the things that really surprised us was the level of craft which many of these films showed. Attention to craftsmanship, as well as compelling stories. And a lot of the compelling stories that we saw in short film dealt with social issues such as, for example, education, immigration, the family, the complexity of human relationships, the environment, just to mention a few. I would like to thank our jury for this year. I think our jury is probably the most hardworking jury. They had a huge challenge sifting through all these wonderful films, and making a choice was really difficult, considering that we had so many great submissions. And I want to really say thank you to all the jury for doing an absolutely fantastic job with these films. I'd also like to congratulate all the filmmakers who sent their submissions. We are very happy about that, and also to congratulate the filmmakers whose films were selected. And I'm sure that we are all very excited to see these films, learn from the films, and we will also be able to hear what the filmmakers actually say about their films and about their work process. I think that's a very interesting part of what we'll be having within the festival. I'll keep it short here, and I will encourage you to join us if you're an independent filmmaker, and if you're just simply a lover of film, and specifically if you're a lover of short film and you want to support independent film. Please join us and enjoy the festival. Thank you.
Africa, 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 yeah. Mama Africa, we cry for peace. Africa. The land is good.
You're still watching the virtual access edition of the Accra Indie Film Festival. We can now get a message from the festival ambassador, celebrated actress Abebrese.
Hello and welcome to the 2020 edition of the Accra Indie Film Festival. As this year's film ambassador, it is my pleasure to welcome each and every one of you. This year's theme is Film, a tool for social activism. And of course, there's been so many things that has been happening in the world recently. And film is one of the most important and powerful tools to talk, to share, and of course, to make sure the world knows what we find as filmmakers to be important, what stories we want to tell, what stories that we want the world to know. So for each and every one of you that will be joining us, we have an array of films from filmmakers from all over, and we hope that you will be impacted. My name is Abebrese, and I humbly welcome you to the 2020 edition of the Accra Indie Film Festival, the virtual access edition. Enjoy, share, invite, and of course, remember, film is here today and is here forever. Enjoy.
With those messages, we welcome you warmly to the 2020 virtual access edition of the Accra Indie Film Festival. We hope you have a wonderful time. Thank you for joining us from wherever you are.
Stand up, please, and say I am free. Don't forget you are